Man, listen, before we even get started, we need to start off with a quick activity because maybe I'm just out of touch, okay? We all have gotten allowances at some point of our lives, I'm assuming, right? You get to about 7 to 10 years old, maybe your dad calls you into the room, he wants you to do some bullshit, that he doesn't want to do and he'll pay you some money, right? You get a little allowance. You start saving up for things, you start buying things. I want to know how much money you guys made. To my best recollection, the most I ever made was like $150 maybe in a month, okay? And that's because I was doing back-breaking work. I really want to know how much money you guys made back in the day before you were, your own person. But our past situation is not what we're here to talk about today because we need to speak about the gracious, the amazing, the wonderful allowance that our best friend Nick Reiner received on a monthly basis as a 20, 30 some year old man. I'm talking, I don't know how long this shit was going, but the man was making about $10,000 a month. He lived in the back pool house. He had no bills. He had no job. He had no worries. Man, listen, if I was making $10,000 a month, bro, you would never see me again. I'd be taking vacations out of the country. Man, listen, $10,000 a month, no bills? Bro, a plane ride to Paris is how much? How much is the hotel? Man, I could blow the whole 10,000 per month and just have fun. Man, listen, if I was making $10,000 a month, I would be the bestest son ever. I would do anything they wanted. I would do my drugs, do my little cocaine, I do my little heroin, whatever's to you. You know what I'm saying? Do that and lock in. Your dad wants you to do this stupid movie. Your dad wants you to come to this damn interview and you're bitching about that, brother? That's crazy. And I mean, okay, bitch about it. Be a little, be a little child about it. But to actually kill the person giving you that much money, regardless of the family status, screw him being his dad. This man and this woman are giving you 10 bands a month. That's crazy. But anyways, there's a few things we got to cover today, folks. Obviously, the news broke about how much money he was getting. There's some death certificates floating around, giving us a bit more insight as to what the prosecutors will end up doing to him, most likely. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and check this thing out. Merry Christmas. Let's do this. So I was just going through Twitter trying to collect information because there's so much coming out about this guy, and every single thing that seems to come out points toward him being a psycho, unstable piece of shit. So anyways, a news article by Radar dropped, and it says, troubled Nick Reiner didn't pay a single bill and received $10,000 per month from parents Rob and Michelle before knife slaughters. And I mean, mind you, bro, like this guy actually cut their throats. It's not even like, he shot them or he hit them with something in a fit of rage. No, he had to meticulously wait until they were sleeping and slit their throat, which is a lot of people are saying they were sleeping. If they were actually sleeping, in my opinion, you can't blame drug psychosis. You can't blame schizophrenia because, like, why would you wait? Why is it so planned out? I thought you would, in my opinion, you would just act out on the moment if you just didn't care or if you were dealing with mental issues like that. So it doesn't make sense to me. The shocking allowance Nick Reiner was being given by Rob and Michelle prior to their slaying has been revealed. The massive figure was revealed on Hollywood Insider Rob Shooter's Substack, where insiders shared details on the amount of money Nick received as a monthly stipend. An insider, aka Nick's friends, I gotta be honest, I don't know if he had too many real friends. One, his dad's really rich. One, his dad is really rich. And two, he's kind of a weirdo and he makes these weird off-putting jokes. He probably was just around certain people, and now that he's in jail, they're coming out to talk. It always happens that way. An insider claimed how Nick was getting a whopping $10,000 a month from his mom and dad. He lived rent-free in the guest house, had food provided, and didn't pay a single bill. Everything was taken care of, the source claimed. They made sure he had utilities, groceries, and even extras. A full safety net. It was a lifestyle most people could only dream of. And I mean, like, damn. And in my humblest opinion, he was probably getting a lot more money before he did those 18 rehab facilities. 18. The other day I said it was like around 16 The next day it went up to 17. Now they're confirming that there were 18 rehab facilities that he's gone to. So I'm pretty sure he probably started off at like 25 grand a month. In my opinion, that's kind of low for the stature of the family, but the more you fuck up, the less they probably give you money. But anyways, let's continue. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you would call a broken rib. If you notice, there's a divot right here compared to the other side of my body. Those are two inwardly bent broken ribs, and they could have been normal. But why aren't they? So I was a lot younger at the time, and I was really into BMX. Long story short, I'm on my way home, and a car from behind me is coming so fast to where he runs me off the road. I fall, I crash, and I break my ribs up. Now, me and my family could have taken legal action, but what goes into everybody's mind the second they think about legal action? It's going to be too expensive. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up the biggest injury law firm in the United States, Morgan & Morgan. They will take your case, and they will only pay themselves if you win and you get paid out. $25 billion and 500,000 clients is a lot of money. And that's how much accumulative money they have won over the years. This is why they can afford to have you come in and they only get paid if you win. If you have ever been injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. And you could do that by clicking the link below or check out the QR code that we're about to put up right here. And you could get your claim started today. I'm so thankful for Morgan & Morgan and the sponsorship. Shout them out. And let's get back to this video. Regardless of the money they were providing Nick with, he was still facing demons, and he had a well-documented history of substance abuse and mental health problems. They wanted him comfortable and supported, quote unquote. A separate source noted, but that didn't mean he wasn't dealing with challenges behind closed doors. I mean, was it really behind closed doors? I mean, he went on a dopey podcast for 4 hours talking about how much he loves shooting up heroin and smoking crack. Or shooting crack, sorry. No. He doesn't smoke crack, okay? He's better than that. He shoots it with lemon juice. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it was very behind closed doors, but let's continue. As Radar reported earlier this month, Rob and Michelle were found dead in their home with their throats slit. Nick ended up getting arrested and remains the main suspect in the case. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special allegation that he used a knife. And we're going to get to the hotel that he fled to, which gives me more feelings of premeditation. He went to a hotel, bloodied that shit up. He had a knife. He waited till they were sleeping, allegedly. Not looking very good. And I will say, I feel like this is a product, unfortunately, partially of Rob and Michelle Reiner. Like, you know, obviously every kid is different, but the way that they clearly said they wanted him comfortable and supported, that was the biggest problem. You know, everybody raises their kids the way they believe their kids should be raised, but if you really see this kid taking advantage of you, fuck that kid, in my opinion. Like, not to the point where you hate him and you don't talk to him, but financial support must stop. We've seen this all the time. Grant Armato is the biggest example. His family, they weren't rich like them. They probably had like $500,000 in their savings. Grant Armato spent $250,000 on a cam model. Same thing. They kept him in the house. A bald 30-some-year-old man in the house, just chilling with mom and dad. So I feel like there's a pattern. Obviously, parenting is a big old spectrum and all kids are different. But if we're seeing a pattern that the kid who doesn't amount to anything and just gets money kills their parents, we should probably change that up a little bit. But anyways, folks, I want to show you guys another Nick Reiner and Rob Reiner interview. And it kind of shows the father-son dynamic. And it also, I feel like it shows Rob Reiner's willingness to take the soft approach. He doesn't really have, he said it himself, he's not built that way. He would prefer love on his son. But I feel like this is one of them children where that shit just doesn't work. It doesn't work on all of them, you know? Some kids are fucking psychopaths like Nick, but let's go ahead and check this out.
Reveal that stuff for you? That would seem to be hard for me.
It's not hard to reveal that stuff. It's only hard to reveal that stuff to then get told you're a spoiled white rich kid, and it's like, okay, maybe all these things.
Well,
but
who would say that to you? Not your dad.
No,
No,
the
but
world.
the world, you know. Listen, I had to talk to him about this. Listen, I know what it's like to be the son of,
Yeah.
and to have people assume certain things about you, and it's very, very difficult.
And it's unfortunate, man. It's like he had the blinders on. He couldn't see it. He is a spoiled, rich white boy. I don't know where the white boy thing came from, but I guess he's white on top of that. He's a spoiled, rich piece of shit, bro. He doesn't do anything. He's like, oh, the world thinks that I'm just so. You are. Okay, your dad's not going to tell that to you because he loves you a little too much. You're everything everybody's saying. And this is the type of person I could tell he's going to be following the media coverage, and it's going to be pissing him off. Trust me, when we hear the phone calls surface in 3 years, or we see the messages he's writing to people in a couple of months, the media is going to be involved because you could already tell it's the type of individual he is. Lord knows what they're even arguing about. It was probably over some bullshit.
Well, how did you handle that?
Well, I mean,
I mean, obviously you didn't go to drugs, but you must have had
well,
those
in
issues.
the
Your
60s
father's an
in the
icon.
60s, there was plenty of drugs around.
Yeah.
But you just have to know what you do, and that you have to block out all that extraneous noise. And it's hard for him because this is the first time he's, all of a sudden there's a lot of attention. People are talking,
Yeah.
and he has the double whammy. He's got me and he got his grandfather, and they're going to say whatever the heck they want, but they don't know. They don't know what he's experienced. They don't know what he's gone through.
Yeah.
They don't know why he's done what he does, and and it's pretty dumb, pretty ignorant of people to say just because you're
Yeah.
born and you have money and that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. I always bring up this example. I had a rich kid friend in high school, coolest dude ever. Parents rich as hell. He don't gotta do nothing. He could probably fail out of high school and they'll just put him in another one. Or if he just doesn't want to go to high school no more, he could probably just sit at home all day. Rich. You know what I mean? His family had property, big ass house. I mean, he had the MacBooks and shit when nobody had them. Like the old stuff now, but he had that new shit. Back in what? Back in 2013, 2012, when everybody wanted that. Long story short, he was a good dude, smart kid. Just you wouldn't even know he was rich. Maybe his clothes looked a little better than ours. But there's other people like Nick, okay? And he is the rich, spoiled kid. He's every stereotype you could think about, okay? There's another example. There's this little kid. I was doing a mission trip. I think I told you guys the story before. I was doing a little mission trip, and we went to stay with these people, and they had a son. He wasn't as old as Nick, but it was the same rich kid energy, the little bitchy energy. We were playing toys with him. We were playing with toys. We were playing like his PlayStation, and we were going to the backyard playing with his toys. They told him to come in. When they told that kid to come in, he threw the biggest fit. He started breaking his own shit. He started hitting his dad. We've all seen kids like this. Hitting it, and this kid is like 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. He's not young. Hitting his dad, doing all types of dumb shit. You know what they did? No, that's not good. Don't do that. Don't hit daddy. Like, oh my God, there's a difference, okay? Some kids, they need that tough love. Some don't. And Nick Reiner, I guess he has other kids as well, and that soft love worked on them. That shit was never gonna work on Nick.
People have their own issues.
Human beings
regardless.
are complicated,
Yes.
messed up.
And also, it's like the Kardashians can go shopping and complain about how there's no air conditioning in the fucking store. And, no one bashes them.
Yeah.
It's like, I wrote a movie about doing drugs and having a hard time, and people still,
People
they
have
have a
really
field
said
day.
stuff about that?
Oh yes,
That's
absolutely.
insane to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
this
you
is-
have to keep yourself focused and know what
Whatever.
you do.
Yeah.
Know what you do. This is what we set out to do.
Right.
And I told him, while we were making the movie, I said, I don't care what happens. I don't care if, they don't even see the movie. Nobody wants to see. I said, we're winning. We are winning.
Yeah.
Because we're throwing ourselves into our work.
Yeah.
And good things are coming out of it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it can help some people, because we've been on some shows. We were on a show the other day on NPR where people were calling in and were saying thank you so much for sharing your story, and they were telling us about what they were going through. And so if you can be helpful in that way, then that's good.
And that's pretty much it. You could tell his dad. I mean, his dad was trying so hard. And if you look up Nick Reiner, the only job history he's ever had was screenwriter. They gave him the title screenwriter and movie writer or some bullshit like that. Sir, you are not a screenwriter, okay? You never had a job in your life. He is the definition. I wouldn't call him a Nepo baby because he didn't do shit with the nepotism he could have received. But this is a failed Nepo baby, okay? Like, you know what I mean? You did nothing with that. Imagine being 32 years old and you don't have nothing in your work history. Holy shit. Nothing? Oh, no. You're a script writer. You're a movie writer. A movie that went to like 14 theaters or some shit that nobody knew about until you did this big ass press run. Tough. But anyways, before we get out of here, I want to show you guys the death certificates. They came out, I think TMZ dropped them. It says Robin Michelle Reiner death certificate and Nick Reiner charging documents. Describe how injury occurred with knife, comma, by another. Oh, with knife by another. Okay. Both were cremated. Sad. And that was posted by Lauren Collin. Let's check this thing out. So it says Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles, the people of the state versus people of the state of California versus Nick Reiner. The undersigned is information and believes that count 1. On or about December 14th, 2025, in the county of Los Angeles, the crime of murder in the violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony, was committed by Nick Reiner, who did unlawfully and with malice aforethought murder Michelle Reiner, a human being. So they're going with Michelle first. Michelle Singer Reiner. And I made a comment in another video. I don't know why I said it like that. Nick Reiner's, I said Nick Reiner's father's wife. That's his mother as well. So I just want to clarify that as well to you guys, because you guys started flaming me in the comments for that shit. Notice, the above offense is a serious felony within the meaning of Penal Code Section 1192.7c and a violent felony within the meaning of Penal Code Section 667.5c. Notice, upon a felony conviction for the above offense, prison custody time is to be served in state prison based upon the above felony offense being a serious felony defined by Penal Code Section 1192.7 and or violent felony defined by Penal Code Section 667.5c. So basically, you're going to go to prison if you get, if you get found guilty. That's the one count for his mother. And this is count 2 for Rob Reiner. So it's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to skim through it. On or about December 14th, 2025, in the county of Los Angeles, the crime of murder in the violation of Penal Code 187A, blah, 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 was committed by Nick Reiner, who did unlawfully and with malice aforethought murder Robert Reiner, a human being. Same. So in a perfect world, he should get 2 life sentences. I mean, this is a slam dunk, easy situation. You get a jury trial. They hear the evidence. You get 2 life sentences. That's what I feel like should happen. That's what I feel like is going to happen. But who knows? If this big Karen Reed superstar attorney that he has is able to spin some schizophrenia narrative that makes people feel sad for him, then we have a different situation on our hands. I think it's all going to come down to how the jury responds to the defense. If there's a few people in the jury that start feeling sympathetic for his bitch ass, and we've seen shit like this happen in California, if there's a few people that feel sympathetic and they're able to sway the rest of the jury, we're looking at, I don't know, a mental hospital for 10 years, maybe a good decade in like a really nice rehabilitation facility. Who knows? But hey, this is California, so anything is possible. And before we get out of here, we did mention the hotel or motel that he ran to after the murders multiple times. So I just wanted to give you a little visual on how he was living. Okay, so let's check this out. The National News Desk posted this. It says, the son of slain actor, director Rob Reiner reportedly checked into a hotel in Santa Monica after allegedly stabbing his parents to death in Los Angeles. Sources confirmed to KABC that Nick Reiner, 32, went to Pierside Hotel on Colorado Avenue either late Saturday or early Sunday morning. Police said Reiner did not resist when he was arrested near the University of Southern California. And if you guys recall, he was walking around that 7-Eleven, so he probably went there to get some smokes or some shit. The police saw him, got him, booked him. And this is the hotel. To be honest, for Rob Reiner's son, it looks a little dingy. Not gonna lie to you, it looks a little dingy. So, but that's his MO. If you want to have a drug-fueled weekend, you're probably not going to the most expensive, shit, I don't know. I would want to go to an expensive place. But we all know that Rob Reiner was, homeless at times, living in homeless shelters, going all over the place. So he's a little used to getting grimy. He don't mind a little grime, which is why I think prison might be the perfect place for bro. It might really be the best place yet. And he could get all the dirty drugs and nasty shit he wants behind bars too. But anyways, folks, I just wanted to come back real quick before the Christmas, tap in with y'all, give you guys a little update. There's going to be a lot more court-related information coming soon, I could only imagine. I think he did waive his right to a speedy trial, so they're going to drag this shit out up into infinity and beyond. You best believe it. This shit's going to be going for a little while. But whenever things like this do happen, a lot of information leaks out to the public. So I'll keep my eyes on this shit, man. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner, Michelle Singer Reiner, man. Shout them out. But until then, folks, I'm going to see you real soon. Stay inside, stay safe. If you have kids in the house, you might want to consider locking your doors when you go to sleep. Just saying. If you have adult kids, lock them doors. All right. Peace. I'm out.